Yo, everybody. It is your friendly neighborhood physical therapist, Dr. Ryan Welton, coming to you live from just outside the beautiful Tampa Bay area. If you are new to following me, I'm a physical therapist in Tampa. I got a chronic pain clinic, and I figured out how to get exceptional results in the what I call the I've failed everything population, meaning people come in here all the time and said I've failed everything, and I figured out how to get exceptional results in that population. I created protocols and methods where what I am doing, people have duplicated all over the world. And I've shared those testimonials about how their clinics explode because all of a sudden you're helping people that had no hope type thing. So this is all over the world now. Nigeria, Bulgaria, you name it. I get messages from those places, India, Pakistan, you name it. It makes me happy. Now, so most people know me as this clinical expert. I publish statistically historic papers in the field of not just orthopedics and medicine itself. So if you go to whatever platform you're using, or Instagram or TikTok or whatever, and you go to the top, I pinned it. And it says in the last 12 months, so 5 years after publication of my root cause of SI joint dysfunction paper, root cause of sacral torsion shear paper, root cause of plantar fasciitis paper, my shoulder impingement paper. If you look at the numbers that I got from the journal, and you look at the average paper gets 3 to 5 years after publication, basically dies and gets 800 to 1,000, 800 to 1,000 reads after 3 to 5 years after publication. Those papers that I wrote on that I posted there, I asked the journal, and it's at 5 years after, 3 to 5 years after, it's at 13,500. One of them, 12 in the last 12 months, not total. In the last 12 months, the SI joint papers at almost 12,000 in the last 12 months. And I published the SI joint paper in 2020. And the average paper is 800 to 1,000 that time frame. So these are considered historic papers in not just orthopedics, but in the field of medicine itself. The Lancet and the New England Journal of Medicine, some of the biggest journals in the world in medicine, are at 3 to 5,000, 3 to 5 years after publication and readership. My papers are at 13,000, almost 12,000. You can see it. It's right there. I pinned it. Okay. I am not just a clinical expert, but I am also a business expert. I've had a cash-based clinic for the better part of 17-ish years. And I created this extraordinarily powerful business model where I have a cash-based clinic for physical therapy, treating the chronic pain world, and it's all based on results. So I teach you the clinical part, and I teach you the business part, and we combine them together because that's what patients want. All I do is see all the time people online talking about they're talking about like how to charge more, how to get somebody on the phone that wants to use their insurance to come in and pay you $80 or something like that. You know what my assistant does on the phone? Like, here's what it costs, $400 type thing for a half hour is what I charge and what I've taught people how to charge. And like, if you're gonna say you want to use your insurance, that's fine. You should use your insurance, but that's not my target market. So that wouldn't be considered an appropriate lead for my clinic type thing. So, and I also did a video yesterday where I said, or the other day, where I said that I don't have competition. I refer out actually to other physical therapists for simple cases, not complex. Like I deal with the complex cases. people that are willing to go out of network and pay me my rate. But if, if you have a tennis elbow or something like that, like I'll send them down the road to another physical therapist. If somebody opened up, right, everybody's all worried about their competition. If somebody opened up a clinic, physical therapist, a chiropractic clinic, right next to me, I would go over and be like, can I refer you patients? Because I see people in here all the time, that either can't afford it or can't or want to use their insurance, and that's fine. I'll send them to you, and I'll just, you make sure you're doing my protocols type thing. So I send them to my students. So I don't have competition, and I'm not worried about it. My patients have tried all that. These people in here are the chronic pain patients, but it's not that complex. I mean, that's why those papers made medical history, is because I dumbed it down, these conditions, and here's what's causing this, here's what I propose causing this, blah, 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 and they made medical history and continued to. Okay, so, so today I want to talk about how to not go in debt, going from a staff PT to cash-based clinic owner. So you can join my school group. I'm talking more and clinical insights and business insights in my school group should be pinned right here for rehab clinicians. But I did not go in debt when I started my clinic. And the reason why I didn't go in debt is because as a physical therapist, I always say, if you have a pulse and a license, then you can get a job anywhere. So you show me the person that jumped ship from the 9 to 5, staff PT role or chiro role, staff PT role or chiro role, and actually has a full schedule for 5 days, during the week, Monday through Friday. Doesn't happen. So you have to build up to that, right? So what I did is I signed a lease, but I knew that I could pay the lease because I had a pulse and a license as a physical therapist. So what I did was I actually worked at I didn't want to work there. I think I worked at a nursing home. Like, God bless people that work in nursing homes. I just can't do it. I'm an orthopedics, guy, and I like to solve orthopedic problems all day long. But I was not a fan of doing that. But I also wanted to open and run my own clinic, and I needed money. So that's what I did. So I worked 3 days a week, and I treated twice a week, and I transitioned. And it took me a while to get to do that, to get a full schedule, to be able to dump the nursing home job. So I hear people going into debt all the time to start their clinics. Like, don't do that, man. Especially if you're a PT. Like, you can get a job anywhere. You can do home health. You can make $400 a day, $400 a day somewhere. You can do PRN. But nursing homes, they always need help. And they'll pay you to do it. So I recommend not going into debt. Okay, I recommend just go use your degree and transition into that role. You don't have to go into debt. Chiropractic is a little different game. I teach physical therapists and chiropractors how to open and run this highly successful clinical and business mastery mentorship that I'm doing now. And chiropractic, it's a different game. It's, if you can find somebody that's paying you decent money in a chiropractic clinic, you can do that. But there's ways to do it without going in debt, because people that are going in debt sometimes aren't good with money. And the next thing you know, the 100 grand that the bank gave them at whatever interest rate, they owe back, and they're not making that, and now you're in trouble, financial trouble. So don't do that. Just, just do your, just go get a job somewhere and work 3 days a week, 2 days a week in the clinic, and then maybe 2 days a week at the nursing home, 3 days a week in the clinic, and just transition out of it. Fun jobs everywhere as a physical therapist. Okay. So one of the things with this cash-based clinic, where you can sign up for my free VIP school group right there, it's pinned right there. Sign up for that. One of the things that makes it so different. So everybody, I've been watching, because I'm starting to teach this cash-based business model that I've been doing for years, almost a decade. And I've talked to select PTs and chiros over the last several years, and now I'm bringing it out to the rest of the rehab world, where you charge $400 for 30 minutes, but you're an expert in chronic pain, where that's my goal, is to make you an expert in chronic pain. Like I said, these medical papers that I wrote made medical history. And if you want my mind to teach you how I knew how to do that, which made, sorry, I just dropped you guys, which made medical history, then I will teach you. That's what I'm doing. I'm teaching the clinical part and the business part. Number one, what makes me different is, in this business model different, is I do not sell physical therapy. I don't sell anything. I don't have sales tactics. In fact, I tell people, if you're not going to do the home exercise program, don't work with me. And I'm basically telling you, I don't want you as a patient. Very different from these like bring them in car salesman type sales techniques. I'm not interested in that. I don't do that. X amount of people sign up with me, X amount of people can't. And if you can't, I just get you to one of my students. But other than that, I don't do that, And then also, people on the phone, I was watching videos of last night of cash-based business coaches who are trying to tell people how to convert someone that wants to use their insurance, right? And here's how to talk to them and get them to see that it's better to not use their insurance. Number one, my question to you is, what clinical methods and what results are you getting? So you're going to get someone to go outside their insurance, and then they don't get better. That's a problem. You get bad reviews and you get refund requests from people. People get pissed off if you're not doing that. So you need the clinical results, which is where I'm bringing my clinical expertise in. So I don't sell to people. I don't have sales tactics. Results sell. I actually get them out of pain and demonstrate my understanding of what was wrong with them. And when I demonstrate what's wrong with them and how I just got them out of pain using my clinical methods, which is all part of the course, I give you it all. And when I demonstrate that, then people are like, oh, this guy actually knows what's wrong with me after all these years when all these people failed, And then they're like, where do I sign up, To $4,000 for 10 sessions, I'm in, And it's the same every month. I've been doing it almost 10 years, and the same amount of same conversion rate every month. Different people, same conversion rate. So I can set a watch to it, basically. Maybe 1 or 2 percentage points, but that's how it works, So if you're thinking about opening up a cash PT clinic or cash chiro clinic, and you want to not just change lives, save lives, because a lot of these people are on their bottom rung, and they'll tell you that they can't sleep, they can't sit, they can't do anything. I will tell you, I will work with you on what is happening in our society and how I get these people better. And I'm not worried about the clinical part. I'm not worried about even the business part. I'm not worried about it. I have this method. Everybody says about me, they're like, Ryan, they're like, like your clinical methods are so easy, And I'm like, yeah, no, because you didn't need all that other stuff. And I did the same thing for the business method. Okay. So I just made it streamlined. In fact, there's a testimonial on the landing page to sign up for the Business Cash Accelerator. If you join my school group, and there's a chiropractor on there that is saying what he does is so easy, and the business part of it and the clinical part of it. So, because I taught him, how I'm doing this, I created a method, just like my SI joint protocol, just like my plantar fasciitis protocol. So I don't find this complex, and I will pour all of my knowledge into all of my students. So there's limited spots, and the first 15 that sign up, then I close it off. Okay. So go to my VIP school group to learn more. You can click the link right there, and I am teaching more. But don't go into debt as a physical therapist. You just transition over. You don't need to take loans out and go into debt. Okay. Peace. Love you all.